you doing today?
I'm good, Mark. Thanks, how's you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Meeting here today in the Edinburgh Future Institute.
Yeah, it's an amazing building.
Yeah, newly renovated. We just had a week tour with the Travel Tech Force working team. They've done a great work on renovation after like years of having it shut.
Yeah, it's an amazing blend of old and new. Obviously, being an Edinburgh native, when I was very young, this place was a working hospital. I was born at Simpsons and all that jazz, and it was shut for years. Then they opened Cornwall. It's amazing to see the inside of this building now as a working university building that's open to the public, and people like us can come here and use it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, beautiful, and a big contrast between like a traditional Edinburgh building and very modern inside. Great job.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So I wanted to start by congratulate you on your new role.
Thank you.
As a new CEO of Foresight. I think everyone in the team agrees to say that it's beyond well deserved.
Appreciate it.
You've been in Foresight since June, July 2021.
2022, yeah. So it's just over 2 years now. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I had my 2-year work anniversary last month. Yeah. So no, it's been great, and personally delighted to move up into this new role and have a wider influence on the business, work with a wider team. I'm very lucky and very privileged to be able to do this. So yeah, thank you.
We're gonna go through some questions itself, about Foresight, about your roles, just to get to know you a little bit better. Yeah, you crack on?
Try not to ramble.
Start with the questions. Can you please tell us, how did you end up at Foresight? What's the story?
So I've been working in the corporate business for quite some time. I think I was ready to start something again. And interestingly, a former colleague of ours, Jamie, was at Foresight at the time, and I reached out to him to ask, what was going on. They had a position of head of product and development at the time. He said to me, we had a discussion at SLT level, and we created this role, interestingly, based on experience that I had in a previous role. I was like, this is serendipitous. Reached out to Jamie, asked about the business, obviously. And yeah, really exciting kind of journey that Foresight was on at the time. It still continues to be, but I was just ready to go into startup life, get out of big corporate business and try and build something, not from scratch. Obviously, Foresight has a big history, but something smaller to take it to hopefully something huge. Yeah, obviously went through the process. I was lucky enough to be selected.
Yeah, it's been 2.5 years since you started.
2 and a bit, yeah. It was July 2022 or June 2022. It was flashed by like so quick. 2 years. Obviously, many more hopefully in the bag still to come. That kind of progression, obviously, personally, is great. Being able to interact with more of the wider team in my new role and the kind of wider management team is really exciting. So, hoping that I can make a contribution in all areas of the business.
Please tell me about what the new role involves and what it means for Foresight.
So hopefully success first and foremost, but it's a completely new role for Foresight. We're trying to expand and grow. We had kind of C-suite with Alan and Richard already. Matt's part of the leadership team as well as myself. I think we recognised that we need to bring more of the team together under one umbrella. And I'd already been involved with the ops side of the business for a while. So some of it was a recognition of the role that I'd kind of been performing informally, but also in our kind of like new phase of growth and our new phase of how we want to take our product to market. And it was about bringing the operational side of the business and product and development a bit closer aligned to make sure that voice of customer is heard more, that we are providing a better level of service, which is already high. Our bar is high. Like our NPS and CSAT scores are great, but like everything, we can always do better. And I think we recognized over time that we have the opportunity to do more for our customers and to be more engaged and get them more engaged with us. And that very much involves a collaborative effort between product and development and the operations through technical support and customer success. So it's to bring those together under one umbrella to have a common goal to move forward. And ultimately, I'd like to take that to new channels, new markets, and reach more customers and more people. Yeah, that's the intent here, is that in collaboration with the rest of the senior leadership team and the management team to bring all that together. So that's what I see my role as a kind of chief collaborator, if you will.
It makes those like departments work even better than they already do together.
You and I have had conversations recently about, trying to up those great scores that we have already. How do we get access to greater knowledge, or push greater knowledge to our existing customers through the knowledge base? Try to make that more interactive, more accessible, and making sure that we are surveying our clients to find out where we could do better, and try to bring data from our product into the conversation so that we understand where there's maybe drop off or that we could improve. We've laid a lot of foundations in the data that we have in our product to make better decisions, and feedback that we're getting from our customer to make better decisions and effectively service them better. And the idea moving forward is also to really drive product adoption, really understand the customer when we're on board and post sale, and stay with them forever. I think historically we might have been in part guilty of onboarding, doing a lot of training, and then stepping away. And hotels are normally stretched in their marketing department. So we recognize that we can do more to help them there through simplifying product, but also delivering service and professional services. And we've got a great professional services team that can do that. So yeah, that's the plan.
That sounds great. Yeah, value for customers is just gonna like grow as the team works better together. You talk about the knowledge base. We also have like a customer newsletter. We have guides, pop-up guides in the actual product in the CRM.
So yeah, so we brought in Pendo as a tool that we use to get better telemetry, to engage with our customers more, to notify them of what's happening and what things that we want to push to them so that they understand the value that they're getting from our product. We're trying to use technology to make that better, and also people too. I think like the hospitality industry is such a personable industry, and that technology is the one part, but people is the most important bit. And I think we have been good at that, and we can get even better.
What you achieved already, what do you expect? What are your expectations personally for this new role? Maybe developments of skills or just like personal?
Yeah. I mean, I've been a kind of product and development guy for so long now. This is, and I've operated in an SLT, like senior leadership team environment, for so long. So I've always had exposure to the whole breadth of business for a long time now. But I definitely need to develop my commercial side, and I think it's relatively strong already. But I think that's something that I'm keen to kind of work on, like from a commercial perspective, customer service, etc. Those things, although I have a strong awareness of opinions on, etc., as being product, because it touches on every area of the business, that being deep into those things is somewhat new, and therefore actually understanding both the customer and the business side to deliver that service is something that I've been learning over the past few months, but more and more kind of getting into. So I think that's an area of my skill set and growth that will make me a more rounded individual in that context. So that's definitely what I'm keen on focusing on.
It's always great to have like personal goals as well as like the goals the business set for you.
Yeah, from a goals perspective, we're very UK and Ireland based today. Part of my role has always been to take us into new, certainly English speaking markets primarily, and to have an active presence in North America. I think would definitely be my biggest goal, I think, for this role, because it's something that's always, since I've started, and certainly for the business before, been something that we're very keen to do. So yeah, that'd be the biggest one. And we have passively acquired customers there today. We do our best to service them, but actually being able to say that we're active in a market, that we can support it fully and truly, and have a solid presence there. That would be my kind of a big achievement in the short to medium term, and then long term, obviously just to make Foresight the best, biggest, strongest business that it could be, really.
That's good news. That's good news for sites and for the world of hospitality.
Yeah, exactly. We all benefit from that. So yeah, that's what I'd love to see.
What's if you had to say something to your team today and tell them what Alan they can expect in the future? Is there like a change or?
I don't think so. I'd like to think that I conduct myself in an appropriate manner generally. Obviously, I have to be more conscious of the wider remit and therefore be more objective on the prod dev side as well as on the operational side and be more commercially aware, as I mentioned earlier, etc. But me as a person, I think I kind of wear my heart on my sleeve. I think everybody knows that. Yeah, same person, hopefully able to carry more weight on my shoulders. Yeah, be the best version of myself. But I like to think that I'm a pretty effective communicator, pretty clear with my team, very thankful for them and their contribution, and just the same old me, I think. Just with more to be concerned about in the day to day, and hopefully help get us all to the next stage of our growth, basically. Yeah, and I will say, over the past couple of years, as we're remote, it is a challenge to like build culture and relationships over the phone effectively through Teams. I've had the luxury pre-Foresight to be very office based and be able to directly affect the culture and the way you interact with people. But it's something that I've definitely had to learn over the past couple of years about trying to build culture remotely and interact with people and still learn who they are so that you can authentically interact with them in a positive way. And that's definitely been a challenge. I feel like I'm much better in person than I am on the phone, so to speak. So yeah, that's something that I need to be even more aware of now, given my new role, basically, and that the culture part spreads beyond just product development and into the wider areas of the business. So it's something I need to make sure that's prominent.
So we are a CRM company. We work with hotels. Obviously, we want to innovate as much as we can, as fast as we can. Is there anything in the world of technology today that has caught your eye and that you would like to share?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. The world is evolving all the time in the world of technology. Everybody at the moment is very concerned and or excited about AI. We definitely use it in our day-to-day operation. I know you guys in marketing do. We do in prod dev and we do in operations. Um, and that's been our focus so far. And the utilization of that technology help us make our business better, service our customers better, and scale our business. But we will aspire to include those types of things in our product. And we're laying foundations for that to happen today. Not in a position to share what's coming imminently or whatnot. Yeah, but we're very switched on to it. Obviously, it is evolving so fast all the time. We've done a proof of concept not so long ago where we were using natural language processing to do queries so that people could say, oh, within a segment of my customer database, give me these types of people that fit this criteria, and just use natural language to engage with the system to get that information out. And that was really awesome to see that in a proof of concept and in an R&D environment, but to productize that and make it a real thing is a very different, very different world, and making sure that the various guardrails are in place. But equally, we want to make sure that we're not just building gimmicky things or that we're just following everyone else, or not everyone else. There's some amazing stuff out there, but taking what Chat GPT is, for instance, and immediately just putting it into a product and be like, oh yeah, it's a chatbot. What if it was an engine? What if it was an engine to some of the stuff that we do? What if it was surfacing things that you didn't even know existed in terms of opportunity within your customer database and surfacing it to you is a way that you can just say, yeah, I'll take that, and hit a button and it goes off and does things for you. And I think we're trying to take a long-term view of it. And because things are changing so rapidly right now, actually we'll find that a lot of people will solve problems at a foundational level for us that we can take and run with, as opposed to having to be overly concerned about building the real core technology in the same way that OpenAI have done for many people today. So we're very aware of it. We continue to monitor what's happening, test things, and do some R&D. And we're taking a kind of very conscious, mildly cautious approach to it. And one day, Foresight will very much include that kind of technology. I'm not at liberty to kind of give anything away right now.
Giving already some glimpse of the future.
Yeah, I think we're trying to take a very strategic view, which has been my role to date, but a very strategic view of what it is. And I think it's very easy to get caught up in the hype. We need to make sure that we are educated, skilled. That's another thing. It's very easy to say, yeah, you do this thing on ChatGPT and you can get this outcome. Again, turning that into a product is very different. And we want it to solve real problems. And I think that's where the true value will come in, where, yeah, it works as part of an engine of your product as opposed to just an end point of another feature.
Yeah. Not just having AI as a buzzword, being a solution for a problem for like hoteliers, essentially using a CRM.
People talk about personalization, hyper personalization without being creepy, and surfacing insights and all these buzzy words. And yeah, we get it, we understand it. How to surface those things in a meaningful way requires research and development, interestingly enough. And yeah, we're still there. So yeah, watch this space.
Yeah, exciting future. Moving on maybe now more specifically into the hotel industry. What do you think hoteliers can expect in the near, medium-term future? What's exciting from a perspective?
From a technology perspective? Yeah. God, good question. I think there's lots going on at the moment in terms of consolidation within the technology market. So I think and consolidation in one sense and openness in another. So historically, the property management systems, the PMSs, were the center of the universe, and I think in many degrees that they are, the influence of which the products that are somewhat more peripheral, that are more specific, are becoming more valuable. And the PMS businesses are realizing that they have to open the doors, and you only have to look at Oracle OHIP and Muse's partner program to realize that is the case, that they realize now that products like ours add real significant value, and that they wouldn't be everything to, all things to all people, so to speak. So I think that's great, that it allows us to really go deep in the area that we want to go in, to uncover that really great nuggets for guests that provide real insight into their behavior so that they can market to them appropriately. I think that openness from the PMSs that open the door to people like us is a huge thing. And everything from digital keys to, I had a great experience recently at Hilton where I got to pick my room before I actually went, and they could see on a schematic of the floor which specific room. So I think there's so many things and then obviously AI in terms of service, chatbots, and so on. But I think the openness of the PMS is a huge thing, and that their recognition of tertiary products that add real value to hotels and allow us to connect and get the data that we need to provide value in areas that they don't operate in is a big one. And I think we take for granted that it exists, but it's actually still emerging. Those technologies, from an API perspective, are still emerging and dealing with it at scale, because there are lots of great startups in the hospitality industry that are servicing hotels that are really getting into it now. And the hospitality industry is quite a few years behind many others. Even I came from animal health most recently, and I would say that by and large, the hospitality industry and that openness is 5 years behind where they were. The difference is that technology is much better, so we'll catch up much faster. I think that openness is probably the best thing, because it allows space for great startups to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, data-driven operations, basically having that data in to be able to do like marketing with a CRM, or like you were saying, choosing your room before you arrive. I think we had a conversation recently with a company called Expect Me.
Yep.
And they do that very great.
Yeah, great product, and it gives guests more access to information and be more involved in the experience that they're going to receive by picking where they're going to stay before they've even arrived. Yeah, things like that are fantastic. And then there's the other side of that where you got this kind of like digital gatekeepers stuff that's coming out related to people like Booking.com and potentially others, where they also have to be more open with the data that they capture and what they provide to hotels, so that we can collect more first-party data or third-party data. So I think there's a lot going on. Digital, the DMA, the Google and stuff too. Like you've got to keep your finger on the pulse, yeah, and keep abreast of the latest information. We try to provide thought leadership in that space with our various newsletters and whatnot, and we'll continue to do that. So I think there's always something to be concerned about. There's always something to be learning about, particularly in the data space and marketing, and that's obviously our lifeblood.
So yeah, at Foresight we really try to not just like sell a CRM, but also like share everything we learn about the industry, about tech. I think at Foresight we try to keep like the hospitality industry informed. We've got blogs going out every month to either give some like tips and best practice from what we've learned and what we've seen from how customers are using a CRM, their marketing strategy. Sometimes we've got some great case studies as well. And every month we've got a roundup of all the news, all the trends in your newsletter. So that's a good one to to sign up to.
Yeah, and we're keen to do more, some webinars, master classes, you name it. We've got a few things in the pipeline to specifically talk to our customers directly about how they can make best use of our system and how they can reach their guests and personalize the information that they have available for them, as well as, just general best practice around how you engage with guests throughout their whole life cycle or specific journeys for their stays, and so on. So yeah, we've got lots coming, lots to talk about, but the wider industry stuff is, you really need to keep your finger on the pulse, and just by signing up to our newsletter could definitely help with that.
So you're often out and about. When is the next event? Where is the next space you'll be doing an appearance?
Yeah, so I don't attend as much as the likes of Matt or Alan. I'm a bit more reserved in that respect, shy and retiring, but we were in Berlin earlier in the year, which was a great event. I personally am going to be at IHS in October, and we're sharing our stand with Res Control and Inspire Loyalty, I believe. So that's great. And we've got a history of doing that, don't we? Like the past few years, we shared our stand with other partners. We're highly collaborative in that respect, which is great, and we're continuing that tradition. And I believe hoteliers get in for free. Like you don't pay a delegate fee, which I think is awesome. So like the barrier to entry is really low. We have to pay, unfortunately, considerably to be there. But yeah, so I'll be at IHS. Really keen to meet partners and customers alike and prospects, obviously. And yeah, that's my next kind of big event that I'll be at.
Yeah, soon. I think we're like 2 months away now. Yeah, coming up soon. Our team is getting everything set up, everything ready.
I'm not ready for summer to be over yet, to be honest. Yeah, I kind of feel like we've not had one, as evidenced by the sudden change in weather behind us. But yeah, so that's the next one for me, and I look forward to seeing people there.
And so last question, a bit lighter. Can you share with us something that no one knows in this room, I don't think, and that's a bit maybe fun or interesting?
I'm pretty boring, to be honest. I love to travel, love to eat out, blah, blah, blah. I don't have any interesting facts that I was like once a, famous tennis player or something like that, as much as I would love to be. Yeah, I'm probably a very memeable guy nowadays, where you go on TikTok, you'd be like, I'm in my 30s, I've discovered lawn care. Like, that is me. I'm like pretty boring. Yeah, love to play tennis, love to look after my grass. And just be a pretty memeable TikTok guy pushing 40 years old, So yeah, that's me basically.
Thank you so much for meeting me today here at Libra Future Institute. I think it was great to get to know you a little bit better. I think we've covered very different questions. we'll meet soon again, and we'll see you at Independent Girl Show in October. Best of luck in your new role. I'm
Thanks,
sure you're
Mom.
going to smash it.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me along.
And yeah, see you next time.
Cheers.